Welcome to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon de Vere Rosa, your host, and haven't been in front of the camera with my show for a little while now. I have Pat Dalton with me, a name you might know, you might not know, but with what I do and what I do with my show, it ties right into the entertainment business because he's an entertainer. He has his own band. He also has his own restaurant, which we're going to find out all this. But he has lots of other things going on, and I don't usually pre-interview anybody, but with this gentleman, we kind of did, didn't we?
A little
A
bit.
little bit. Pat, how are you?
I'm good.
Are you
Thank so
good?
much for having me.
Well, you've got this incredible restaurant. Now, I would say I'm out in the boonies, but he doesn't think he's in the boonies because we're between Water Street and Lake Las Vegas,
Yes.
which is right in the midst of everything because I think that Celine Dion lives in
She does,
she
yes.
does. And so you've sort of bought this restaurant. I don't even know how long what's the name of the restaurant?
It's Viva Tequila Vegas.
Viva Tequila Vegas.
Yes.
What a great name.
Well, thank you.
That's a lot. Did you think of that name?
Well, I did. Growing up here with Elvis Presley, Viva kind of came.
Oh
to
yeah,
mind.
Viva, yeah.
And I had seen him twice, and he was my favorite entertainer as a child.
I think everybody.
I think so too.
I think you were a little. He was a little younger than I when I was introduced to Vegas and so Elvis Presley, and it was like, oh, what a guy!
Yes, I was fortunate enough to sit in the front row
Oh wow!
twice, 69 and 70.
I'm not surprised with your background. Now we're going to start. I think now the restaurant. Why did you buy the restaurant all the way out here? And obviously it was an opportunity.
Well, it was. It wasn't something that I really was looking to do. I had had an investment in the prior restaurant that was here. I assisted them with their entertainment, not only here in Las Vegas, but in their other stores. And I was on the road traveling, playing music at the time when they closed, and I had an investment in equipment here. So when I came back to get it, the landlord said, since your stuff is here and you're already here, why don't you just take it?
So you thought
My wife told me no, don't do it.
Well, wives do that. They sort of, they look at all the work and they look at,
Yeah.
could be up to 3 or 4 in the morning, every morning, and this and that and everything else. So that's why and now, do you like it? Are you happy here and do you enjoy it?
I enjoy it. It's a
Lot of work?
more than I thought I would want to take on, but I'm hoping in the near future I can have somebody
Run it.
run this for me.
And then you can start doing what you
I
do.
can do the things that I enjoy.
Now, there's
Although
two,
I enjoy this.
Well, I enjoy everything. There's two really definite things I need to talk about. One is Route 91, which is actually Route 91, if I remember rightly, talking to Pat, was a record they brought out but we have to go back in the depths of what is Route 91.
Well, Route 91 was it was a concert that was held here. They called it the Route 91 Harvest Festival because it was on
October 1st.
And Route 91, a lot of people didn't understand why they used that name. In the early days of Las Vegas, there was no Interstate 15.
Oh,
Route 91 ran from Long Beach, California, where the shipping docks are.
yes.
And it came through the California desert, right down Las Vegas Boulevard. And it was Route 91, straight out to Arizona, Utah, and on up to Idaho, Montana, and then to Canada.
The route.
And that's how they took the shipping goods all the way to Canada from Long Beach. But they used that name, and even people that were in the state a long time didn't know that.
It was
that's
Route 91. I
that's
didn't
the
know it. So to me, it was fascinating.
Yeah,
But the
significance.
story is even more fascinating. It's such a sympathetic story. It's just an amazing story that you have because you were at the October
I was.
shooting. I think that's what they call it. I don't
Yeah,
know. So forgive me if I'm saying the wrong thing. But you happen to be actually there.
I was.
And you have, I don't know if I can get through this, but I'll try. You actually got a lot of the children and people there and put them in your truck. And so tell me that story.
I did. We were leaving. We were in an area at the concert called the Neon Lounge. It was a VIP section.
Okay.
And I'm not a new country fan so much. Older country.
Yes,
And
but
I had listened to half of Jason Aldean And my wife said, if you're ready to leave, we could leave now, because my truck was on the opposite side in the front row.
Yes.
So as we walked across the field, the shooting started. We were right dead center when it took place. So I literally pushed her to the ground and jumped on top of her and watched many people go down. And she had asked me, are they falling? And I said, I don't think so. So when I was able to get her, I'll try to make it a little shorter, it could go on forever, but when I got her to the vehicle, there was a gal running by screaming, and her door was open, and she told the girl, get in, get in. So we had another lady in the truck. And then I saw one crawling across the ground, and I jumped out of the truck, and I ran and got her. Long story short, 9 more times I did that.
Did that?
And
None of these
carrying,
were injured or anything.
oh no, I carried, I'll just use her first name, Olga, who I watched go down, get hit, and run back across the parking lot, and I picked her up while she was shot and carried her back to the truck,
Yes.
and didn't think she would make it to the hospital. I had blood all over me when I brought her, and I had to cut off an ambulance that was on its way. They literally cut it off because they weren't going to stop. It was the first ambulance went by me, even though I was flashing my lights. When I saw the second one coming,
You just went, you
I
just said,
stopped.
I've got a job to do,
Yeah.
I'm doing, and I've got to
They're
get this girl to
screaming
the
at me
hospital.
get out of the way, and
yeah.
you know, I've got all the others in the back screaming and keep going.
Yeah.
But she's a friend of mine. They all are friends of mine today. I consider them my Route 91 family. They've not one was from Las Vegas. All of them, all ladies, have all been to my home with their families. Have all came to
So you've
visit.
had this incredible contact with them all.
I have.
And I know you've had some letters and you've had people saying, you know, if it wasn't for you, they wouldn't be alive, and a lot of things. And you've been recognized by the mayor and everybody, a lot of influential people in Vegas for what you did, because you actually took in consideration somebody else, not yourself.
Yeah, I was asked about that, and you know, I've kind of been that way my whole life because of my background, I
Well, we're
think.
going into that. We've got another side of this gentleman. This is a completely opposite side, but I wanted to get this Route 91 out because I think what you did, and actually at this restaurant, there is a room dedicated to Route 91, and it's got all these names and different people. You've got a whole list of. It's actually, it's a bittersweet room, I call it, because it brings you back to that moment in time. And that moment in time, as we all know, very, very tragic. But at the same time, it brings you back that they're not forgotten.
No, they're not forgotten.
So
We have a beautiful,
bittersweet.
yeah, we have a beautiful garden here downtown. We call it the Healing Garden.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, Sue Ann, makes sure it's maintained.
Yeah.
And she was also there as a Route 91 survivor. But the Healing Garden is beautiful. It keeps the memory of the 58 alive.
Yeah.
All the families have visited it.
Yeah.
I know most of the family, if not all.
That affects you now? I mean, it's always going to be there because of what you have. And sort of, you know, obviously you walk into the room sometimes and you look around and kind of, you know. And then you also have the record you recorded, you know, as a performer, Route 99.
Route 91.
I mean,
Yes.
91, 99.
Yes.
91, Route 99, 91. And so you made this, you actually,
I did. What happened was, a few days after the shooting, people started finding out who I was. There was a website out there called Find My Hero. I didn't know it existed. And I started getting calls from family members of these young ladies and telling me that you know, I've rescued
What you did.
their family.
Yeah, yeah.
They thanked me. And I was asked to perform at the following Saturday at Sam Boyd Stadium. So I went out on the field and I sang God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwood.
yeah.
And a little boy came running across the field while I was on the field and hugged my leg and looked up at me. He was a young man, and he said, I just want to thank you for singing. I don't like country, but my mom would have loved you." And I said, "Thank you." And I looked up, and there was a lady with him who I know to this day now. And she was crying, and she came and hugged me, and she said, um, "I appreciate what you did. I wish you could have saved my sister. This is her son."
See what I mean? It's all very
And she
touching.
said, "This is her son." And
Oh my goodness.
as time went on, they knew I was a songwriter. She said, "Can you do something to honor the 58 that died?"
Oh,
And I wrote a song called 58 Angels. And it went on to an album with another, the album is entitled Forever Family. It's another song that I had written.
how can they get that on the internet?
The songs are on every platform. So 58 Angels and Forever Family, they're on
That would be
Spotify. They're on
under
everything.
your name,
Yeah, Pat Dalton Amico.
Pat Dalton Amico.
And it's on all the platforms.
Okay,
So if you just ask it to play that with my name,
it'll come
on
up.
every
So,
platform.
it would be something just to listen to and
People
just
have
to
downloaded
identify.
it, bought
Pat.
it,
Yeah,
and I've donated every dime from those
Yeah.
to the family.
to the families. So you started. Now your band has been going for quite some time.
It has.
And now, how long?
Well, I've been doing.
Then we'll get to an interesting
well-
story. We're getting there.
We're getting there. The band started, or I should say, I started professionally playing in 2000. So 25 years
25 years you've been.
I've started. I started quite old in the industry. I was 40 years old when I started this.
He's just given his age away, hasn't he? He looks good though, doesn't he? A good looking guy.
So thank you. So I started. I started late, and
And you're still going strong and you love it.
oh, I am. I love it. I
I mean, you've
enjoy
got your
it.
whole band here set up. It's
Yes.
just amazing. It's fabulous.
We have a great time. Outlaws and Angels is my band.
Yes.
The name will explain itself.
Yeah, we're getting there. Slowly we're getting there, but you'll be fascinated. But my guests are quite fascinating. And, we go from sort of, to a pastor to what do we say, a rebel? Would you say Pat, would you call yourself a rebel? All right.
I call
I'll
myself
I'll let
an
the cat out
outlaw.
of the bag. Mafia.
Yes.
He was actually in it, involved in it, and he's got some tremendous stories. And I always seem to get myself involved in people that have these fabulous stories. So, now, when did you first start as being in the Mafia? You must have been quite young at that time.
I was. I left home at 18 to go to California. I was chasing a girl.
Oh, there's always a woman involved.
And her family were friends with my family back in upstate New York.
Okay.
And I went out there, and I was also a Golden Glove fighter. So I went there.
Well, you were a lightweight, not a heavyweight.
I was a junior welter, was my weight class. At
Okay.
that time, it was 139.
Okay. Wow.
And I went
you're
there,
tall.
and I wasn't quite that big at 18, but close.
Yeah.
And I went there, and to my parents, I went under the pretext that I was going there because I was going to college at El Camino Junior College, and I was going to be on the boxing team. I was going for her.
Did you go into boxing for the money, or did you go into boxing because you thought you'd be a great fighter?
I thought I'd be a great fighter.
Cool.
And
I like that.
enjoyed fighting.
You liked it.
I love
You love
fighting.
beating up.
I love fighting. I love fighting. And I fought some pretty famous people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Roger Mayweather is one. Two-time world champion. Sparring session with Hector Macho Camacho. So, yeah.
Dropping some names out there. I didn't
there's-
even know all
There's
this.
a lot of others. I mean, Johnny Lira helped train me a little bit. Sweet Sugar Demon. They were all kind of popular guys. Joey Curtis owned the gym. He was a famous
In Los
judge.
Angeles.
No, it was here.
Oh, here.
Here, I did it here before I went there. I was
Okay.
in high school still. And then Doc Broadus, who became a state senator here, he was George Foreman's trainer, is the one that trained me.
And he trained you. He
He
trained you well, though.
He
Did you win any big fights? Did you?
I-
I mean, your name is out there anyway. But in the
I
fighting
didn't
arena.
get to do a whole lot because my father found out and was against
And that
it.
was the end of it.
Yeah, but I did fight, and I fought at the Sahara
dads
Space
and
Center.
mums can do some funny things, can't they?
I fought some good fights, and I've only lost one, and I've never been down. But I loved boxing.
I'm going to stay level with him.
Well, Roger Mayweather was pretty stunned because I had as fast as hands as he did, and he was lightning fast.
So, how did all this get you into the mafia? Because we're obviously gearing up to this, and we've gone in a roundabout way. I didn't even know about this boxing thing that much. So, what was the catch?
Well, the catch
Was it money?
No, not at all. I went broke. Well, wait, let me say that again. I went broke in California.
Now we're going to get the truth.
I went broke in California going to school out there. I had a little job at Gemco, and my parents weren't into education. I can tell you that. My father didn't even care if I went to high school. He didn't.
I can
So
understand that because
it was a generation that was different.
Yeah.
And they were in the gaming industry and rackets.
Now the game. Oh, he just answered it. That's because in the gaming industry, that kind of applies.
My family had, I'll just call them casinos, in upstate New York, all the way back to the 1920s.
Well, so your family is kind of the originators.
I can honestly tell you
They are.
that they are.
They are.
They
Okay.
are. My grandfather is the first. He was born in 1897. He came over here in 1912 on the San Giovanni. He came
Italian?
100% Sicilian
Sicilian. Well, isn't that Italian? Well,
to some.
yes, I know. This is, yes.
It
To
is
us, we
today.
call Italian, but
It is today.
But those days.
They didn't consider themselves Italian.
They were
considered
Sicilians.
themselves Sicilians. And a lot of that came from the war because Italy kind of collapsed to Mussolini, and the Sicilians fought it. So they kind of separated themselves. But my family came here in 1912. My grandfather, with others that were here at the same time, which was Lucky Luciano, Lapucci, I mean, I go on and on, Magadinos, many families.
It's fun. Yeah, many
They were the very,
families.
and this was before the mafia was created. Well, it's not even called the mafia, and a lot of people don't know that. Mafia is in Italy. It's not here.
So
It's just-
what did they call
It's
this?
La Costa Nostra. That's an actual fact that the
So that's
mafia.
where that comes from, that word.
Yeah, our
That-
thing.
Yeah, because people, what do you think you are? And you sort of think,
Nostra,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
So in the beginning, you had to be Sicilian, and they should have left it that way. They'd still be there today. But they allowed
And the world took it over.
everybody in.
Yeah.
It took time, but when the prohibition started, that was the opportunity to make money for an organization, meaning La Costa Nostra or the mafia.
Yes.
And my grandfather was in upstate New York, and he went to work for two of the biggest bootleggers. Because Rochester, where we were from, is right there near Niagara Falls and the
Now,
lake.
you weren't even born yet, were
I
you?
was not
He
born.
wasn't even thought of. Never mind being born.
So to take control of the liquor from Canada coming in and from,
Wasn't that connected to the Kennedys as well?
yes, and all that liquor came down from Canada because the United States had outlawed liquor.
Yeah.
And then it came from the Caribbean also, the rums. And he decided that he would take this over at probably the age of about 25, 26. He wanted to be in
So
charge,
he was quite young as well.
so he killed them all. And
Okay.
he took over upstate New
That's
York.
one way of taking something over,
That's how
isn't
you
it?
take
Get
it
rid,
over.
of, get rid of everybody.
So he had eliminated them, and I shouldn't say he eliminated them, whether he did it or his people did it. So they took over the bootlegging. Magadinos were up there, and I know all those families. In 1931, Lucky Luciano decided.
And we all know who he is.
Yeah, he's the originator, and he decided that rather than having all these Italian gangs, basically, at the time, in all these different cities, some fighting each other and other things, that we should probably make an organization. And he's the one that did it, and he brought them all together.
Together. So now you're spread out all over America,
There's
actually.
26
now.
families.
Well, it's nothing like asking a question, is there?
It's 26.
So now let's get back to you. Have you started in it when you were what, 24, 20?
18.
18 you started actually.
I was in California. I went broke. My parents wouldn't send me any money for school. They didn't care.
Yeah.
So my dad said, come back to Vegas.
And we'll take care of you.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was the one that made you earn your way. But I came back and he said, I have a job for you. And I was sent to the Stardust, which is in the movie Casino.
Yes.
They call it the Tangiers Fair. So I went there very young, 18 years old, maybe 19, right at that time. And I was sent to see a gentleman there who was the real deal.
And
who
do you
was in
remember
charge.
that to this day? Do you
Oh,
remember
every bit of it.
Go-
Every bit. So this gentleman was in his 70s when I met him back in 77 and 1977. And he told me he knew my grandfather, who had passed away in 1947. And he knew him. And this gentleman, which very few people know, if they even do, was the highest ranking member of the mafia in Las Vegas. A lot of people have names that they use all the time, and I know these
Were
people.
you kind of shaking in your boots going there? Or
Not at
were
all.
you not? Oh, you were you were excited then.
Oh, heck yeah.
You
Oh,
were onto a new job. And did your father give you an inkling as to what you were going to meet this guy and you're going to get a job there? Or
Yes.
you're going,
knew that.
so you already knew that you were going, and did you know that that would be in the mobster side of it?
We had every gangster in the world at our house growing up.
So you were
They
used
would,
to all
they would
this.
all come in on junkets to this town, and all of them would come.
So you could turn around and say you knew a lot of them.
Oh, God.
prob-
Many. And
You're
some
the
of
real
them are
deal.
The last one that I know of in this town.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of guys that worked in for.
Yes.
It's a little different in my situation because I came from an original.
well, you came from
I came
you
from the
came from the head of it. You
the
were
absolute
from the
head.
original head of the whole thing.
The
Now,
Don
when
was
you
the
meet
Don.
this guy and you got the Stardust and you're doing all this, what was your first job? I mean, you obviously had a conversation and you obviously did what they did, whatever it was, and then he obviously offered you a job
He
of whatever you were going to do in the mobster side of this world. And
did.
what did he offer you? Not to clean toilets, because you wouldn't
No,
do that.
oh no. After he told me how well he knew my father and respected my grandfather and went into a little.
Oh, so he had to be careful.
No, he was
But he had to respect you.
Oh, he did.
Because
And
he
the
knew all these
family.
people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, at that time,
Otherwise, he
my
could be out.
my true to life godfather at that time, I'll say his name,
Yeah.
Frank Valenti.
Remember that, Frank? I remember that.
My true to life godfather was now the Don of upstate New York, and my grandfather appointed him on his deathbed, him and his brother Stanley, to be in charge of Rochester. So everybody knew that who I was. I didn't know who I was. They knew who I was.
They knew who you were.
So
Well, you're only, how old are you now?
19 at the
No,
most.
19 at the most now. So, okay.
So he tells me, we're going to put you on at the Stardust. And I was like, great.
Were you excited?
I was. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I was excited.
But you were getting a job. You were going to make money.
Yeah. He points at this door right next to a security booth. And there was a baccarat table on one side, the security booth, and there's this one big door. And that door goes upstairs to what they call Argent.
I was going to say the
Corporation.
counting room.
Well, no, it's Argent Corporation. Argent Corporation were the initials of the guy who owned the casino, at least on paper. And his name was Alan R. Glick. Argent was Alan R. Glick Enterprises. He was from San Diego, and he was a real estate man. And he bought the Stardust. He didn't know that when he bought it, that he didn't own it.
Did he give the money?
Oh, he got the money from the Teamsters pension fund.
Well, the Teamsters were the mob.
Yes, but
Now, most people don't know that. I know that for another reason.
yes, he got the money, and Alan Dorfman represented him to the union in which he got. These people don't even know these names that I'm saying.
I was
Alan
going to say, they
Dorfman.
don't even know what's going on or what's happening. But you did because you're in the midst of it, actually.
I am, and you're getting a story right now that no one's heard. I'm being honest, and now that I'm saying these names, you could be like, I don't know these people. You can look them up
Look, well,
yourselves.
I mean, I
and
know a
you're
lot of the
gonna be
names.
like,
No,
"Oh
I know a
my
lot of the
God."
names. I
So
do,
Alan
but-
Dorfman was killed on the streets of Chicago, but he had initiated the funds to the Teamsters Union, to Jimmy Hoffa, and that's where this money came from for the Stardust
Well,
for
that's
Alan
where
Gray.
Freddie Otash came in, who I dated for a couple of years in Florida, knew all about Jimmy Hoffa.
Yes.
But he passed away. And they
Well,
had this on the
That's
news
a nice
media.
way to say it. That's a nice way to say it. He passed away. He did pass away. Maybe he wasn't ready, but he passed away. I hate to laugh, but it's kind of, I grew up. with
I
this.
wasn't dating him at the time when he was passing away. We'd already finished the,
Oh,
the
I thought you
dating.
meant Jimmy Hoffa.
Oh no, Jimmy Hoffa. No, I'm talking about Jimmy Hoffa didn't know he
Oh,
was
I
going-
thought you said
No,
Jimmy
but
Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa was actually in the news media a couple of weeks ago,
Okay.
and I'm thinking to myself, well, I know a little bit about what's going on with Jimmy Hoffa because of Freddie Otash, because he knew that.
Okay.
But he's passed away too. They're all gone. Except
They're all gone.
I could be gone next week.
And let's hope not. So I was told to go upstairs.
Anyway, so you go through these big doors. You go up the stairs.
He waves to the security guy. He buzzes
Lets
the
you go
door.
in.
I go in. I go upstairs, and I sit down and have a meeting with a gentleman there. And
Did you know the gentleman?
no,
No. Okay.
and he knew who I was.
Of course, everybody knew who you were.
But through my family, they all knew my dad. They all knew my uncle. They all knew my grandfather and my godfather. So I'm now there.
Here comes this little skinny, tall 19-year-old,
Yeah.
because there was nothing much of you at
No.
19 years old.
No.
There's nothing much of a woman or a man.
I was
You know,
my whole life.
all
was-
excited.
I loved to go to the clubs and go dancing. That's all I knew at that time.
Stay out of trouble.
So I went in, and they told me they were giving me a job. I think that the payroll at the time, I think it was $2.75 an hour was the minimum wage.
$2.
And 75 cents. I think that was the pay across the country. So I went there not knowing what I'm going to get, not knowing what I'm going to do. So they tell me they're going to give me an office, and my job is to sort through and protect their corporate records. Now, I didn't even know what we're talking about at the time.
I was going to say, how you didn't really go to that much of school, so you didn't.
Oh,
even-
I didn't go to
you didn't
school. I went
much-
there for girl and fighting. I never went to school. I didn't even go to school when I was in high school. I don't know how I got out, but that's
another story. Yeah, I know how you got out because of the names behind you, and they had to let you out, and they had to give you the diploma and everything, because otherwise they were in trouble. Just kidding.
Yeah, well, so I get this job and I have an office, and they tell me they're going to start me at $500 a week. And here all my friends are making $80 a week. And
And did you just sit there and like take it all in? And
I did, and I was kind of stunned.
you were controlled.
Yeah. Oh, very much so. And
I mean, but for yourself, you
Yeah.
controlled yourself, saying, "Ooh, 500 a week."
it was kind of
That's a lot of money
I remember
those days.
Well, I can tell you that one of the gentlemen there, these guys are all gone. I love this guy. His name was Gene Cimarelli.
Good Italian name.
Gene Cimarelli was married to Bobby Stella's daughter. Bobby Stella is the one that they portrayed in the movie, taking the money, and they had the cookies when he brought it, and they opened the box. They thought it was going to be money, and it was cookies. And
Full of cookies.
but that was Bobby Stella who brought it out. He gave it to the other gentleman I had talked about, who was the high-ranking guy. So Gene Cimarelli said to me, "We're going to start you now in 2 weeks. Do me a favor. Can you grow a mustache?"
In 2 weeks?
And I said, "Yeah, I can grow a mustache." He said, "We need you to look a little older."
I would think so.
So I said,
19,
"Okay."
500
I
a
truly
week.
did. And I've had it to this day. And then he said, "Go find yourself a secretary." So I went to a club called the Brewery, a nightclub, and I met this girl that I really thought was cute, and she had another job, and I said, "Why don't you come work for me?" She's like, "What do you do?" And I said, "I don't exactly know yet, but you can work
I'm
for
counting
me."
money.
Long story short, I took the job, and
From that day
I
on-
did a lot of stuff in there that people won't, they're going to be excited to hear about
Is
it
there
in the book.
anything that you would like to mention out there that you haven't mentioned to anybody actually that really stands out that would intrigue the curiosity of them all?
There's a couple things I can tell you. Yeah. When gaming enforcement and the feds decided to shut the Stardust down
Okay.
because
But that's quite recent. Well, not.
well,
Was that
it
10
was
years?
that was
What is
no,
that?
that was in 19. I want to say it was 81.
Oh, that time. Oh,
So they were shutting it down and forcing them to sell it
okay.
because they didn't want them licensed anymore. Frank Rosenthal was there, and there was a lot of
Names,
hoopla
yeah.
over it. Oscar Goodman was my first attorney, and when I got subpoenaed to go to the grand jury, and I was 19 years old. But all that being done, there were these records that they had that the FBI wanted, and they had taken the records, and they were all up in Argent Corporation upstairs. They were by the copy machine, and the deal was, the FBI was coming. Now, no one knows this to this day.
We do now, or we will in a little bit.
The FBI
Going.
were surveilling the front door, and Gaming Control was also paying attention. They wanted copies of those records, and they were going to get them now that they were all there. The originals,
All the originals, and they wanted the
and this was
copies.
going to bury all of us.
And that was going to bury the Stardust.
All of us, yes. It would show all of the skimming and everything. So
And when
what
we talk
happened
about
was-
burying, we really probably do mean burying.
Yes. So I got called in that night. It was either Gene, I think it was Gene Cimarelli. And he said, "We need you to do us a favor." I said, "Whatever you want." He said, "We already talked to your dad." So he said, "It's up to you." And I said, I'm in.
That's a big.
It didn't matter.
And you didn't know really what it was.
No, and I didn't care. I didn't.
Well, you were that type of person anyway.
I was. It didn't matter.
I think you were more interested in the money side of it than in I'll do all this, whatever you want, if I get that.
I loved it.
See?
I enjoyed the life.
See what money does?
Now, and I know people that are out there that, and I respect some of these guys. If I can say his name, Michael Francis.
It's anybody's name.
And I respect him, and he talks like most. It's a horrible life, and it's devastating on the families.
Always on guard.
Always on guard, and
Have to be.
for me, I don't feel that way to this day.
I know you don't. You
I-
don't care. You don't look. Actually, Pat does not look over his shoulder at all.
There's
I
no
don't think
reason
you
for
ever
me
have. So what? So did they get rid of the Stardust?
Well, what happened is they asked me to go in at night and get these boxes. I'm going to say there were 12 boxes of records out. Now, how can you get them out that front door?
Without anybody seeing you.
FBI
There's
there,
a
and
there's a casino. It's
there's
open
no chance
24
to do
hours
it.
a day.
And the FBI to this day doesn't know how they got out, and neither does Gaming Control, which
But
I'm
you
about
do.
to tell you. Yes.
Okay, here we go.
So I went up to the offices early, and lo and behold, there was a secret door in the back.
Did
I
you know?
didn't
You
know
didn't
it.
know that?
I had no idea. It was a secret.
And the FBI?
Nobody knew that door was
Nobody
there.
knew this door. Well, that's why it was a secret door.
So
It really was a secret.
they told me where it led, where it went, and if I could come back at night,
And take all those
take
boxes.
all those out of there and get them out of the Stardust.
And you did.
And I did. And it made the papers that they were gone.
Now, let me ask you one question. Did you get paid the 500 a week for that, or did you get paid more?
I was given tips a lot.
Were they big tips or little tips?
I-
They were big tips. Knowing you, Pat, they had to be big tips.
Yeah, I did a few things like that for them, and I was quite.
Okay, so that, we've got a little bit of the background of the mafia, but this is just like a tip of the iceberg
That's a
because there's so many stories, there's so many things. I didn't really want to bring this up, but since you're so open, I will. You did time.
I did.
What did you do time for, and how old were you when you did the time?
It took them, meaning the FBI, a long time to get me, to take me down.
I can understand that. You're pretty tough to catch.
And I was a fugitive for a while.
Did you have a price on you to get you?
Well, I had gone to when the Stardust closed. I went to Atlantic City, placed in Atlantic City, and over a period of a year and a half, I was indicted and arrested there on, I think it's 76 charges, and they all had to do with,
That's a lot of charges.
it is, and they all had to do with mafia control of the junkets and gaming.
And yeah, because you were involved in the gaming. So you were involved, actually, you already got all these 12 boxes out. So the FBI never got them. The CIA, nobody, to this day.
To this day.
Now, we're putting this out on air.
I know.
So would you be worried that somebody might?
Nope. And I could tell you why down the road a little bit here.
Okay. Well, all right.
So I went to Atlanta.
This show could go on for 2 hours, but anyway.
I went to Atlantic City. I was indicted. They wanted. I was running the money for the entire.
You were running the money,
States
yeah.
For all of the junkets.
All of them.
All
That
the
wasn't
cities.
one or two. That was quite a
Oh,
lot.
it was a lot. It was almost every major city in the country, and I was the guy.
And you had geared yourself up to put all this together, know exactly at each city, each place, each casino.
I was well in tune with what I was doing. In fact, the guys I worked for, I love. He's dead now. Al Corbo. He's in the black book.
They had to trust you with all this.
Well, they knew who my family was. It wasn't even a question of trust. I mean, there was no question. You could give me $1 million. There was no question that that's getting delivered. I mean, it wasn't because I was
Isn't that
afraid.
amazing?
I wasn't afraid of it.
No.
It was because I was brought up in a household of respect and honor.
And you did that.
To
You asked to do that, you do it.
Absolutely. There's no questions asked. And if you get caught, you go down.
So you got caught. So we're going to cut the chase. You got caught. What did you get caught on?
I jumped bail in Atlantic City. Jumped bail.
Okay.
I came here
Yeah.
and went to work. Now, I know that sounds insane. I'm a fugitive.
Yeah.
I went to work in gaming here with the license.
Should be the last place you should have really gone if you
Well,
didn't want to get caught.
But
But you didn't care.
you'll get, I mean, I had the sheriff's card, the gaming license. I mean, the governor was involved. It was a massive ordeal and a fight between New Jersey and Nevada. And I was backed by Nevada, didn't have to go to New Jersey. It ruined their case. There's a book you can find written by the government, and it's called The Other Skin. William Kisby was the detective in charge for the strike force for organized crime, and he wrote the book. I was very young, and I was included in the book, and then he did it to Congress, where he went in front of the Senate, and they put it on Ronald Reagan's desk. And amazing to me, not knowing it as a kid in my 20s, that I'm sitting there with my name on Ronald Reagan's desk of organized
Yeah,
crime.
because you were still a kid then.
I was a
Well, you're
kid.
still a kid through this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
So how old were you when they eventually, I mean, it's so hard to catch you.
It was very hard, and I fought, and
How old were you?
when they finally took me down, I was 34 years old.
Well, that was, yeah, that it took a long time.
It took a long time. They took me down very dramatically. SWAT team they brought in from Metro. They had the FBI.
Were you in
They
your
had the
office at the
secret-
time? Where
I
were you?
had an office.
Were you in your office at the
I had
time?
walked out of the office, and it was on State Street where Johnny Russo had the State Street restaurant.
Yes.
And it was just a few doors down from there. And they took me down in big fashion.
Did you think, I mean, were you at any time prepared for that or thinking it might happen? So you had, I mean, over so many years, you had a time that they're going to get me one way or the other, and let's see how long I can go.
Yeah.
And what side did you let down to give them that opportunity? Because you obviously let a side down.
Well, what happened is some of my crew were arrested on things that I was not involved in.
Oh, and they split on you.
They ratted on me. And when they went into jail, they had them call the FBI. The FBI came, and what they said is, would they be able to be let out if they could give them me? And the FBI jumped at them. So a couple of these guys in particular would roll on another, and they built up a little group of about six.
And they let the FBI know what time and where you're
Absolutely.
coming out. See, that takes me to a place where, can you trust anybody? There's very few people you can really trust in this world.
Very few.
Very few. And sort of, we often sort of say, yes, we trust that person. Then all of a sudden they turn on you and think, wow, I really trusted that person.
I trusted a lot of them, and some of them panned out to be trustworthy.
Yeah, I'm sure some of them do. Of course, not all
and
of
they
them are
did.
bad.
And
How long were you in?
well, I only did, and I say this because I only did 5 years.
That seems a long time, but
It seems,
yeah,
but so I am one of the very few. I never made a deal. It was a 30 to life sentence. Mainly, it looked like 30 years I would get. I took it to trial against the federal government, against the FBI and the Justice Department. The day we picked the jury, they offered me 10 years and no testifying. I turned it down. Even when my attorney said,
don't take it.
you might want to take it because if they convict you, you're never going to see the light of day. You've got 3 kids at home, you're married, your parents are elderly.
But you were the type of person that would take the risk because that's you. You're a risk taker,
I
obviously.
said, no, we're going to trial. And lo and behold, I was convicted of 19 felony charges that amounted to nothing. And the 6 serious charges I was acquitted of by the jury.
Did
So
you
that was the end
testify?
of that.
Did you?
On
did you
my own
actually-
behalf, at the very end,
You testified.
for myself.
Of course, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
And they
yes.
asked me if I'd done this, and of course, I lied and said no.
But you had.
Oh, yeah.
At least he's telling the truth now.
Yeah.
It's a little late.
And I did, and I fought every inch of it.
Do you
And-
regret any of those times or any of those things, or do you really kind of? I'm obviously talking about jail. It's not nobody wants to go to jail, but at the same time, with all the experiences and everything you went through and everything you did, it was kind of an excitement for you. It seems.
I love it.
See, I knew I would get that answer.
I love that life. I'm sorry a lot of people don't. I did.
Would you ever go back to it now?
Never.
And why?
Well, number one, the times have changed so much that
Well, yeah, that's
we didn't even have a cell phone, and now they track everything: your car, your license plate, cell phone.
Well,
There's
yeah.
no way to do what I did.
He found out how old I was by just looking on the internet. So, and because nobody realizes how old I am, but I say it out there, and I don't know if I'm proud of it.
Look even close to it.
I don't know, but I am what I am, and I don't hide like you. I don't hide anything. I don't care.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Go and tell God, make me be born, 30 years later? I can't do that.
I even have 2 songs in which I'll give you 2, if you want to include them,
Of course.
that are not out to the public. One is called Old Outlaw,
Okay.
and the other one is called Rebel Town, because this is
This
Las
is the
Vegas
Rebel
with the
Town. Yeah, we're in
rebels.
Rebel Town.
And they're true stories. You'll hear it in the song.
Okay, so we've been through a lot. We've been through his recording records. We've been through his entertainment. We've been through his Route 91, which is a touching story and a beautiful story because we've still got all those people within our hearts. And then, of course, the Mafia, which is the exciting part of his life. And now you are, well, in Vegas. You've been in Vegas a long time. But now you're in Vegas. You've got this restaurant and you're doing well. So how do we put all this together now of where you're going and what you're doing, apart from letting me film my show in your restaurant? And I love
Anytime.
it. And I can film here anytime I want. Isn't that beautiful? And there's even a band here. So if I have a group coming in, I could actually have them perform.
We do. We have entertainment. Every weekend we have a band. And it
A different band?
Yeah, it varies from 50s and 60s to 70s to 80s. And, I'm a
I
country
know a lot of the
guy.
entertainment people, I can,
Oh, yeah.
get them here singing and doing a whole
Yeah,
number.
we have a great time.
Does there have to be any particular
style.
music? No, any age, any music.
Yeah, any style. Yeah.
So now we've got this restaurant. We've gone through all this. Now, where are you going? What are you doing
Well,
to close out?
my heart's in music.
Okay.
And, I owned a music studio here. I sold it to the world famous Killers.
Okay.
I'd written some songs that were fairly well known.
Yeah.
One made the charts and a couple made TV and movies.
I'm not
But,
surprised.
my heart's in the music. I'd like to finish the book that I'm currently working on.
And it's probably quite a thick copy because I'm sure you keep you keep
It
thinking of
is.
things and putting
There's
them.
a lot in it.
No, we've
There's a
just had a
lot.
short interview, which not really short. But,
There's
you
things
know.
that everybody will read that it'll be like, I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Including people that have spoken as experts on this,
Yeah.
where I've never been able to say anything.
You can't. But
And now I
why
can.
you feel? Why do you feel right now that you can say anything you want and not look over your shoulder and not worry about anybody coming after you? Because I'm quite sure it's like a quick claim deed.
Well, anybody that I would say anything negative or rat on is a rat. So as
Well, that's
far as
putting
I'm
it well.
concerned, I don't really care. Beyond those people, there's no one left alive that I would talk about. They're all dead.
They're all
And it's
passed
because I
away.
was so young
Yeah.
when I went in, and the entire thing with the other skim with
Well,
the
your
book,
family at the
they've all
beginning of it all.
absolutely.
I mean, how rare is it to find somebody in this particular, I'll call it business, which you're probably laughing at. Well, it's a business. I don't
It
care
is a
which way you
business.
look at it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, however they do it is a business. That you're from the very beginning of it, and you actually know a lot of the details.
I know a lot more than I.
And
more than you
there's all,
believe.
and obviously there's a lot of things you won't talk about.
There's a lot I won't talk about, and there's a few that are coming in the book that are really
Questionable.
interesting to people.
But questionable, people don't know that in the book
Oh,
now
no
they will
question.
know.
They'll know. And I have, I have people that may question some of what I say.
Well, I'm sure
Nothing-
you'll have a lot of questions.
There's
I mean, that's
nothing I'm
life.
going to say that isn't backed up.
And they can come to your restaurant, which is Viva
Tequila
Vegas.
Yes.
And it's at 891, I'm going to say
901.
Oh, 89011. You gave me the wrong
is the
address.
zip code.
Is this? Oh, the zip code.
That's a zip. And it's
Address
891
891
DeMarco.
DeMarco, but actually you're going to have it.
Well, we
Like,
hope to change it to
they're
Lake Mead,
trying to get it
East
so
Lake Mead.
anybody out there, we want to change this address because nobody can kind of find. I found it. I mean, you can find the place. Obviously, it's a beautiful place, absolutely fabulous. They have line dancing and they have the bands and they have you singing and lots of stuff going on. And this is all very new to me. And Pat's given me the opportunity to be able to film and interview other people here. So that's
Absolutely.
pretty cool. Isn't that nice? I like that. That's pretty cool. I do. I love that. We can give your restaurant we can give it a lot of plugging, because it's a great restaurant. Actually, I had some food here on Sunday. I had a taco. I like the hard tacos with chicken and then I had the rice and the beans. Fabulous.
Well, thank you so much.
I loved it. And the coffee
Well, good.
wakes me up. What would you like to say about anybody regarding the mob out there now? Is it finished? Is it done? Because we've got Russians, we've got all sorts of different people.
The worst thing that, Giuliani ever did was go after and take out the mob along with Robert Kennedy and a few others, because I'm not saying that they should have left it because it was good. It was our business and it was our thing to do.
Yes.
But by eliminating the mob, they opened this up to so many, I'll put it, ruthless gangs that didn't have a code of conduct.
Well, I don't think they really know. I don't think they really know what they're doing. I think, they get these guns and shoot and do all that. I don't even think they know why they're doing it. A lot of them, because you look at it and you think,
Right. We didn't do drive-by shootings on I'm not saying that no individuals ever got caught up in this, but for the most part, that isn't what this was. This
No.
was business,
yeah.
and we had a code of conduct of other people's wives, children,
it's funny.
families, reporters.
Yeah, a lot of people say now, they say when the mob was around and, it was much better. It was like cleaner and you all knew where you stood. And it seems like they rat-finked or got rid of the people that were really bad in a way that was maybe, I don't want to say rightfully so, but at the same time, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I wasn't there. I don't know. But now we just have all these shootings and these things that go on.
Right.
I mean,
We didn't have that.
I don't know
When I
what's
grew up.
going on in the world.
We didn't have
If you had something to change right now, what would you change?
Well, the first thing I would like to see is you don't get released, and I was in prison, so I can say it. You don't get released from prison on certain crimes, and I mean ever.
Yeah.
We have a revolving door, and that's why this continues.
Yeah.
And because of that revolving door, this will go on until we stop it.
Yeah.
You use a gun, you don't get out. You harm a child,
You don't get out.
you don't get out. In fact, you could have put them in with me. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
But we have this situation where we're protecting the criminal
So we're protecting the wrong people.
more than the victim. And
Yeah.
the victims get harassed and accused and beat up on these stands. This is
We
ridiculous.
seem to be going around in the wrong direction of where we
and
are.
you're hearing this from a convicted felon.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of it or anything. You are.
It's
Yeah.
really sad that, and I remember somebody telling me politically that they don't like seeing everybody incarcerated and they should let more out. And I said, have you been in? Because I wouldn't let them.
You know what they are.
I wouldn't let them.
You wouldn't let them out. On that, Pat has given us a tremendous story, just a short story, and he's got a book coming out. What's the name of the book?
It's going to be called Beneath the Neon.
Beneath the Neon, the bright lights.
Yes, beneath the underground.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
Beneath the Neon. How cool is that? And when do you think it's coming out? He keeps writing it. How long have you been writing it? Probably tell me 5 years or something.
It's been a few years.
Few years.
It's
The book
close.
takes that. Yeah.
It's very close.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he's been absolutely incredible, absolutely fabulous, and thank you so much for
Thank
your
you so
story.
much. I appreciate for having me.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
the story. I'm gonna. People like this we need more of, just to see a little bit of the background, clear it up a little bit, and also not be ashamed of your life. There's one thing that you only have in this world. It's from here to your feet. This is all we have to look after, nothing else. And if we aren't in alignment to where we want to be or what we want to do, then, we're pretty hopeless, aren't we? So let's help other people. Let's be nicer to other people. Let's say hello. Let's open the door for them. Let's just do things that don't cost any money, because people are ruining people. It's only the people that everybody blaming somebody else, but that somebody else is another person. So it's people blaming people. So on that, thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. And I'll be back with another show very shortly, and hopefully filming right here. Thank you so much for watching. You take care.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It was fabulous. What a
Appreciate it.
great guy.
Thank you so much.